Have you ever met someone who just refuses to lose? Like no matter what happens to them, they keep getting back up? Well, get ready to meet Wayne. He's a teenager from Ohio, and he might be the toughest kid you'll ever hear about. But here's the thing that'll surprise you. He doesn't look like a fighter. He's not huge or scary looking. Wayne believes in one rule, just one. Never back down. Not ever, not for anyone. Sounds simple, right? But trust me, this rule gets him into some wild situations, and we're about to see exactly how far he'll go. But before we get to the really crazy stuff, let me tell you how this story actually starts, because it doesn't start with a fight. It starts with cookies. Yeah, you heard that right, cookies. The story begins in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio. Wayne is sitting at home one afternoon. He's not doing much, just existing. Then the doorbell rings. He opens the door and there she is, a girl. She's holding a box of cookies. She's selling them for something. School maybe. But Wayne doesn't really hear what she's saying, because the moment he sees her, something happens. Have you ever felt that? Like the whole world just stops for a second? That's what happens to Wayne. He falls for her right there on the spot. First sight. Just like that. Now, Wayne isn't exactly smooth with girls. He's more of a hammer and fighting kind of guy. So he does what any awkward teenage boy would do. He asks her if she has a boyfriend. She says not really. Then he asks if she wants him to be a boyfriend. She says she doesn't know. But she doesn't say no. And for Wayne, that's a win. So he spends every day after that thinking about her, wondering how to make her his girlfriend, wondering what to say, what to do, how to be someone she'd want. But here's where things get complicated, because Wayne isn't exactly popular at school. In fact, people are terrified of him. Let me back up for a second. You need to understand something about Wayne. Nobody messes with him in this town. Not classmates, not bullies, not even teachers sometimes. Why? Because Wayne has a very simple way of solving problems. He doesn't talk things out, he doesn't walk away. He fights, and he fights hard. At school, kids literally run the other way when they see him coming. He walks down the hallway and people part like the Red Sea. That's just how it is. And here's another thing about Wayne. He doesn't open lockers like normal people. You know how most kids use a combination lock? Yeah, not Wayne. He carries around a hammer for his locker. You can probably guess how that works. But one day, something strange happens. Wayne opens his locker and something's missing. His nunchucks are gone. Somebody took them. Now Wayne isn't the type to just let that slide. So he marches straight to the principal's office. Two students are already sitting there. Wayne looks at them and tells them to leave. Just like that, no please, no sorry, just get out. The principal isn't happy about this. He tells Wayne to sit down and learn some control. He says Wayne needs to stop causing trouble. And weirdly, Wayne agrees. He says okay. He says he'll try. But then he steps outside, and that's when he sees it. His friend is getting bullied. Right there in front of everyone. Wayne's face doesn't change. He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look anything. He just walks straight over. There's a girl holding a trumpet. Wayne grabs it from her hands without a word, and just like that, the bullying stops. His friend is safe, but Wayne gets expelled. And honestly, he doesn't care, not even a little, because that's who Wayne is. Rules don't matter to him. School doesn't matter. Only one thing matters. Never back down. So now Wayne is out of school, but he's still thinking about that girl, the cookie girl. They start hanging out, talking, laughing. Things are actually going pretty well. She seems to like him. He's starting to think maybe this could work, and then it happens. The moment everything changes, they're sitting together just chatting and having a good time when suddenly, Daddy, yeah, her dad shows up, and he is not friendly. Not even a little. He tells Wayne to back off. He looks at Wayne like he's trash. Then he does something really low. He takes the girl's money, just grabs it, and then he pulls her away, but he's not done yet. He has his two sons beat Wayne up right there 2 against 1, and Wayne takes the hits. But here's what you need to understand. Wayne doesn't forget, he doesn't forgive, and he definitely doesn't back down. That girl's dad has no idea what he just started. Now let me tell you about another problem Wayne is dealing with. Because his life isn't just about that girl. He also has a sick dad at home. His father is in bad shape, really bad, and the landlord keeps coming around to collect rent. But one day the landlord goes too far. He shows up at the house, he starts insulting Wayne's dad, says some really terrible things, questions whether Wayne's dad is even really his dad. You can imagine how that goes over. Wayne doesn't say much, he doesn't argue. He just teaches the landlord a lesson right then and there. A very physical lesson. But that's not the end of it, not even close. Because when Wayne goes back inside the house, his dad is gone, he passed away, just like that. All that's left is some money. And a photo of his mom. The woman who ran off when Wayne was only 5 years old. She took his father's sports car and left, just drove away, and never came back. Wayne looks at that photo, and he makes a decision he's going to get that car back, no matter what it takes. So Wayne has 2 goals now, get the girl and get the car. Not bad for a kid who just got expelled, right? First things first, the car. Wayne figures out where the landlord lives. He rides his motorcycle over there. He knocks on the door. The landlord opens it and Wayne hands him an envelope. The landlord thinks it's rent money. Finally, right? But when he opens it, it's not money. It's just paper after paper that says one word, greetings. That's it. Just greetings. The landlord is furious, he starts yelling, but Wayne just gets back on his motorcycle and he rides away. By the time the landlord figures out what's happening, his house is on fire, burning, everything gone. But first let's talk about the girl again, because Wayne is about to do something pretty wild. Wayne shows up at his crush's house. He has a plan, a crazy plan. He's going to ask her to run away with him, elope, just the two of them. So he looks at her and asks, "You want to go forward with me?" And she says yes. They step outside together finally. But guess who's waiting for them? Her dad. The same guy who had his sons beat Wayne up. The dad blocks their way and immediately they start fighting. Now the dad is huge, Wayne is not. At first it looks like the dad is going to win. He starts choking Wayne. But then something happens. Wayne goes wild. Have you ever seen someone just snap, like something inside them just breaks loose? That's what happens to Wayne. He bites the dad's nose. Not a little nibble. He bites it off, straight off his face. And just like that, the dad is screaming, bleeding, completely beaten. Wayne doesn't say a word. He just stands there. Because that's what happens when you push Wayne too far. He doesn't back down. Ever. Okay, so now Wayne and the girl are together. They've escaped her terrible dad. Things are finally looking up, right? Well, not so fast. Because this is where the story gets really funny and a little awkward. Wayne and his girlfriend are out somewhere and suddenly she gets her period. It happens, she needs tampons, but she can't go get them herself, so she asks Wayne to buy them. Now picture this, you're a tough guy, you carry a hammer, you bite noses off, and now you have to walk into a store and buy tampons. How do you feel? Awkward, right? Wayne feels the same way. He's totally embarrassed, but she really needs them, so he goes to the first store. He sees two girls standing by the tampon shelf. He turns around and leaves. Okay. Second store, he walks in, sees more people, turns around and leaves again. Third store, he finally walks up to the counter. The cashier is a woman and she can tell he's uncomfortable, so she asks him, "How bad is it?" He's confused. She says, "Her period. I need to know if you want to bring back the right ones." Wayne thinks for a second. Then he says, "She said it was like a Saw movie." Yeah, a Saw movie. The cashier knows exactly what that means. Super plus. She hands him the tampons and Wayne is finally ready to go. But then another problem. The cashier's boyfriend walks in and he's angry. He sees Wayne and starts causing trouble. "Why are you looking at my girlfriend?" Stuff like that. Wayne tries to stay calm, he really does. But you know Wayne, he can't hold his temper forever. So he grabs a few more things from the store, a bike lock, an aluminum bat, and he pays for everything. Then he heads out to find his girlfriend. But when he gets back to where she was waiting, she's gone. She got tired of waiting and left. So now Wayne has a bunch of tampons. Wayne decides to take a shortcut to catch up with her. Bad idea. He ends up in some kind of camp, and it's not a friendly camp, it's full of thugs, dangerous people. One of them raises a gun at Wayne. He demands money, a toll just to pass through. But Wayne, he doesn't flinch, he doesn't run. He pulls out his little hammer. The thug laughs. "I'm about to light you up, boy," he says. But here's the twist. The gun isn't loaded with real bullets. It's loaded with salt rounds. Not deadly, just painful. So Wayne doesn't die, he's still standing there. Now the thug's girlfriend shows up. She's worried that someone might call the FBI. She wants the thug to just deal with Wayne already. But the thug decides to give Wayne a chance. A game. They're going to play a game. And just as things are about to get really bad, the door bursts open. And who walks in? Wayne's girlfriend, Dell. And she's holding a chainsaw. A chainsaw. The thugs laugh at her. "Little girl, come play with the big boys," they say. "You don't even know how to start that thing." But Dell knows exactly what she's doing. She throws the chainsaw. It lands perfectly at the thug's feet. The thug panics and shoots at it. Acid splashes everywhere. It burns the woman's face, and in all the chaos, Wayne and Dell escape together. So after all that, the chainsaw, the acid, Wayne takes Dell to a supermarket, not a small store this time, a big supermarket, and he buys a whole shopping cart full of tampons, like a ridiculous amount, boxes and boxes. He doesn't feel embarrassed anymore. Not after everything they've been through. Dell goes into the bathroom and she cries, but not sad tears, happy tears, because Wayne might be violent, he might be scary, he might bite people's noses off, but he's also the guy who walked into 3 stores to buy her tampons, and then came back with a whole cart of them. That's love, right? Sort of. So what do we learn from Wayne? Well, a few things. First, never back down. That's his whole thing. Second, love makes you do weird stuff, like buying tampons from 3 different stores. And third, sometimes the toughest people are also the most awkward. Wayne can fight anyone. But ask him to buy feminine products? Totally lost. He can bite off a grown man's nose. But talk to a girl? Nervous. He can burn down a house. But say the right words? No clue. That's what makes him interesting. He's not just a fighter, he's a kid. An angry, stubborn, strange kid who just wanted a girl to like him back, and a car that belonged to his dad, and maybe a little bit of peace. But peace isn't really Wayne's style. His style is chaos, fire, hammer, never backing down, even when he probably should. Oh right, I almost forgot. The car. Remember that? His dad's sports car that his mom drove off with? Did Wayne get it back? Well, he's working on it. Let's just say that car is still out there. And Wayne hasn't forgotten. He never forgets. And he never backs down. So maybe someday soon he'll find it. And when he does, you already know what's going to happen. Because that's just who Wayne is. The most hardcore teen in Ohio. Have you ever felt like the whole world was against you? Like everyone wanted you to just give up? Wayne feels that way every single day. But he doesn't give up. He keeps going. No matter how many times he gets knocked down. No matter how many people try to stop him, he stands back up. And maybe that's the real story here. Not the fights, not the fire, not the nose biting. Just a kid who refuses to lose. Even when losing would be easier. Even when everyone tells him to stop, he keeps going. Because in the end, backing down just isn't in his DNA. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe to AnyReframe and let me know what you think about this movie in the comments. What would you have done if you were Wayne? Would you have bitten the dad's nose? Or would you have walked away? Let me know. And hey, thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one.